All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining our October virtual cat adoption event today. My name is Prabha Raghavan, and I am the virtual cat adoption event lead at CDCK. A little more about CDCK. We are a rescue based in Washington, D.C. We were founded in 2011, and we have over 12,000 pets that we managed to save since. We don't really have a physical shelter, so all of our adoptable dogs and cats stay with fosters, some of whom you'll get to meet today on this live stream. If you want to know more about our rescue, you can reach out to us through Instagram at CDCK Rescue. If you want to look us up on YouTube, we're at City Dogs Rescue City Kitties. And if you want to look us up on Facebook, we are City Dogs and City Kitties Rescue on Facebook. Our website is citydogsrescuedc.org. This is, if you want to donate to the rescue or sponsor an animal's care. This is also where you should go if you're interested in volunteering, either as a foster with the pets or on social media for marketing and other tasks that we may need assistance with. This is also the website City Dogs Rescue DC, dc.org is where you go if you would like to put in an application to adopt a dog or a cat. During this session, we are live streaming on Instagram and YouTube. So please feel free if you're logged in anywhere on these platforms, please feel free to ask us any questions in the chat, and we will try to get the fosters to answer it live for you. And with that, let's get started. We have about five lovely cats today. And we're gonna start with Blanche, who is fostered by Jenny Collins. Blanche is a brown domestic short hair who is 11 years and 5 months old. She is known to be friendly, talkative, and litter box trained. And if you're interested in knowing more about her while you listen to Jenny talk about Blanche, you can look her up on cdck.cc/Blanche. That's BLANCHE. And with that, Jenny, I'll let you take it away. Please tell us a little more about Blanche and, what makes her special.
Thank you. Yeah, this is Blanche. She is super sweet. She's a little old lady. So she loves her favorite things are to eat, to sleep, and to get pets. Um, but she is just like the greatest cat ever, and she's so easy. She is not like a lap cat, but she's still super affectionate. She loves to sit next to me and know what I'm doing at all hours of the day. And like she'll let me pick her up. She likes to rub her face on mine. And the second you like start petting her, it's an immediate purr. So she's just like a very chill, very easy, very sweet cat. And she loves food, as you can see, and treats. Um, and she's just like really easy. She's not like super playful because she's older, but she's still like super fun to be around.
Thank you for that lovely little introduction. You said that she's not really she's past that age where she likes to play. But do you think you could walk us through her routine? What is a typical day in Blanche's life?
Um, yes, a typical day in Blanche's life is mostly eating and sleeping, and she has her favorite spots. Since she's a little bit on the older side, she can't jump, so she has these pet stairs, and she loves this spot on the couch, and she sits there for most of the day. Um, she's just like very curious, so wherever I go, she'll follow me around the apartment. um, she loves to just sit and look at me and what I'm doing. Um, when I'm working next to her, she will give me like a little tap with her paw to let me know that she wants attention and some pets, um, which is very sweet. But yeah, her day mostly consists of sitting on the couch and sleeping and getting pets from me.
That actually sounds like such a chill housemate to have, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it is. It's
Um,
super nice. She's a great companion.
could you tell me a little more about, does she play at all, or is she really like done with that aspect of a cat's life?
Um, she's pretty much done with that. We've tried. If you give her a catnip toy, she'll lick it for a little bit. But then she won't ever touch it again. But um, she, I've played like bird videos on the TV, and she does like that. Um, but like she's super like even though she doesn't play, she still like hangs out with you. And she's still like fun in the way that like you can pick her up and pet her and hear all of her purrs, and she's vocal also. So I love when she starts meowing to get my attention.
No, that's really wonderful, and it's really nice to know that she likes cat TV. That's wonderful. With the birds, and I'm guessing that means that she'd do really well in a house with a lot of trees around. Maybe a window where she could sit and look at the birds outside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have any information on whether Blanche is good with other cats or dogs?
No, unfortunately, I don't know, but she is very sweet. Like, she's not aggressive at all. Like, she lets me clip her nails, she lets me brush her. So I can't imagine her like being aggressive with anything. So I feel like I think she's very adaptable, and I think she would like whatever environment she's in as long as she has owners who love her.
That's really wonderful. Do you think she's okay with kids?
Yeah, I definitely think so. When I have people over, she is just like she's just observing. She just sits there. So
So just kind of part of the group,
yeah.
likes to be a part of the conversation. That's really lovely. So let's try to wrap up Blanche's presentation with a little more information on what you think Blanche's favorite foods and treats are, and what her forever home looks like.
Yeah. She loves these like squeezy treats as you've seen this whole presentation. And she honestly just loves any food. She has dry food in the morning and wet food at night, and she loves her pate. Um, and I just think her ideal like forever home is just a place where she can continue what she's been doing, just sitting and sleeping and observing and getting pets and attention.
And it seems like she might be the best kind of companion for someone who either works remotely, or do you think does she also do well being left alone for several hours?
Oh yeah, she's definitely fine. I'm hybrid, so there's days where she goes like 8 hours on her own. So she's definitely adaptable. I know that she loves when I'm working next to her, and it's funny when she like starts rubbing her face on my computer, and I'm like worried she's gonna turn my camera on in a meeting, but I think she'd also be fine. She's very independent and very chill, so.
Love an independent lady, and definitely seems like the perfect match for someone who wants the love and affection of a pet, but also, maybe doesn't have enough time to dedicate to actively playing with them. So this definitely seems like Blanche would be the perfect cat for someone who's got a busy work schedule. Thank you so much for your time, Jenny and Blanche. And just once again, if anyone's interested in looking at Blanche's page on CDCK and knowing more about it, I don't see any specific questions in the chat, so I'm just going to drop her bit.ly link, which is cdck.cc/BLANCHE. That's once again cdck.cc/BLANCHE. Thank you so much for both of your time. And we're gonna move on to our next foster cat, which is Pumpkin. And I see in brackets it says pie with cinnamon whipped cream. Pumpkin is fostered by Elise Kelly. He is a 10-year, 2-month-old orange domestic short hair. He seems to be go with cats, has potentially special dietary needs. He's calm, friendly, independent, talkative, and litter box trained. Before we start this presentation, I'm just going to drop his bit.ly link, which is cdck.cc/pumpkin. That's spelled Pumpkin. And with that, Elise, please tell us a little more about Pumpkin. Oh, Elise, I think you're on mute.
So this is Pumpkin. Just like his name suggests, he is a complete and utter sweetie pie. I will flag that if you take a look at his little profile online, it says he is much heavier than he actually is. So don't let that deter you. He is a big boy, but not as big as it would suggest on his profile. Right now, we kind of woke him up from a little nap here, so he's a little bit groggy. But in general, he loves to be around us during the day when we're working. He likes to hang out. He's starting to get comfortable and like to learn snuggles, but he's definitely an independent cat, and can do his own thing during the day if needed. What else can we tell you about Pumpkin?
Let's see. He'll definitely let you know when it's breakfast and dinner time. So that's definitely what starts his day. He he does like that. He's 10 years old, so he's definitely still calm, but he will play. He enjoys a fishing rod and foil balls and stuff like that. But for the most part, super calm and relaxed. Very well behaved kitty. He has never touched a piece of furniture to scratch it or anything like that. He just uses his cardboard scratcher. Very gentle. Never raised a paw in anger at all. Never unsheathed his claws or anything like that. When he's annoyed, he's very gentle, very laid back. All around very good kitty.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy.
That sounds wonderful. Do you think you could tell me a little more about the toys that he likes playing with? You said foil balls and fishing rods. Are there any specific attachments on on these fishing rods that really like speak to him? Is it worm toys, feather toys?
The feather is what he enjoys the best. I don't think we've tried the worm
The
or
worm, I think he's open to the worm. He prefers the feather, but I think more than that, he likes mixing it up. So after a few days, just kind of changing up what's on the fishing rod is helpful. We've also noticed, or I guess I've noticed, hair ties disappearing. He likes to chase those around. He'll almost play fetch with himself. He'll kind of throw them down the stairs and kind of go and catch them, and pick them up and carrying them around the house. So he likes kind of batting that around as well.
he's also a fan of catnip too.
Yeah.
Definitely that. And if you
Well,
notice his vest, that's just because of a few places he can't bite right now or scratch.
From the vet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much for giving us that insight. And do you think you could walk us through, his a typical day in Pumpkin's life?
So we leave our bedroom door open, so he's allowed to come in and sleep with us, but he goes in and out during the night. He's pretty good about waking us up for breakfast, not too early. Um, and so he definitely enjoys his meals. And then, like most cats, he has an after breakfast nap. And then maybe in the afternoon he plays a little, but really he relaxes throughout the day and then is a little more active in the evenings after dinner. Um, but that's basically his day. Again, he's an older cat, so he enjoys his naps and relaxing. He likes to he's found a spot by the window in the sun in the morning, so if he enjoys a good sun spot like most cats and things like that.
No, that's really wonderful. So another easygoing chill cat. And I know that it says on his profile that he's good with cats. Can you confirm that? Or, have you ever seen him interact with other cats?
We definitely know that his former family, he had a sibling and they got along okay, but I think we've learned that he doesn't have issues with cats, but he'd probably be good as a solo cat if possible, just because he's a little bit older and he's, set in his ways, so to speak, but definitely not combative with other cats. We did actually see him with that other cat, and they were just kind of ignoring each other.
Okay, so non-reactive, but might be best as an only cat. That's really good to know. And Elise, you said that his weight on his profile is different from what it actually is. Do you think you could give me a better sense of what his weight actually is, just so we can
Yeah,
really change
he's
it?
he's still a bigger boy, but he's 14 pounds, not 20 pounds.
Oh,
And
wow. Yeah, that's a big
the
difference.
rescue is updating that, but just not in time for today. So wanted to make note of that.
Thanks for letting us know about that. You said that both of you said that he really likes his food. Do you have any specific brands or types of food, dry, wet, that he likes?
So we give them both. I think it would be best if a lot of cats self-regulate with dry food. Pumpkin will is probably not so good at self-regulation there. So we give him science diet. He in the past he's had a few issues with crystals in his urine, and so he needs a special food for that. But that that's easy to find and things like that. Um, and then he just gets a high protein diet otherwise.
Okay, that's really good to know. We do have a question about pumpkin in the Instagram chat. Somebody is asking, I think Haru Migato is asking, can you comment about whether you can cut pumpkin's nails by yourself or whether they need to be taken to a vet?
We did it at the vet, but it was super because we were there anyways. He was very calm about it. We have not attempted to do it at home, but again, he's a very calm cat, does not, you know, show any sort of annoyance or anything like that. So I have a feeling it wouldn't be hard to train him to clip nails.
Yeah, and he'll let you touch his paws already, and he's easy to pick up. He doesn't fuss at all. So yeah, again, we haven't done it ourselves, but even when we were at the vet, it was super easy for them to do as well.
He actually fell asleep at the vet while we waited for the doctor.
Yeah.
So very laid back cat.
That is such a chill cat. And this is coming from someone who's had a cat who gets really stressed out at the vet. So,
Yeah. Pumpkin,
um,
not that. Very, very relaxed.
what a sweet boy. Um, Is there anything else that we haven't covered about Pumpkin that you would like potential adopters to know, about the kind of home that would work best for him, or whether he does well with kids or not?
That's what I was going to mention. I don't think he's ever been around kids, so a quieter home would probably be best. And he may not be great for like a tiny apartment. Kind of likes to stretch out, has a space. So that would be my only sort of cautions around him. Um, we haven't introduced any children or anything like that, so we don't actually know how he would act around children. He might be fine with them, but other than those little things, I think there's not really much to add there. At least, do you have anything?
No, I think he's already a perfect temporary addition to our house. So just as the last Blanche's foster parent said, just a nice warm spot and a loving home. He really kind of settles in super, super quickly. He's super affectionate, loves to kind of headbutt right out of the gate. So is just looking for a home that will give him all the care he deserves.
Thank you so much for all of this lovely information and for giving us this insight into a Pumpkin. And it's just been so sweet to watch him just nap throughout the whole process. Thank you once again. Just before we end this presentation on Pumpkin, I'm just gonna drop his bit.ly link again. It is cdck.cc/pumpkin, and pumpkin is spelled Pumpkin. Once again, that's cdck.cc/pumpkin. And just to reiterate the note by his foster parents, his weight is not actually 20 pounds as it's suggested on his profile. It's 14 pounds. So just please keep that in mind. Thank you once again, Pumpkin and Elise. And I didn't catch your partner's name, but thank you all for this lovely presentation. With that, we're going to move on to Spino, who is fostered by Laura Segelman. I apologize if I didn't get your last name correct. And just a little information about Spino before we start. He is a 4-year, 1-month-old white domestic short hair. His bit.ly link is cdck.cc/Spino, which is Spino. We don't really have a lot of information on his profile, so it would be really good to get more insight from you today, Laura. Do you think you could tell us a little more about what makes Spino special?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Spino. He is a very sweet, hi buddy, very easygoing dude. He is just such a happy guy. He's really easygoing, really low maintenance. He's friendly with new people, kind of like an instant cat, and he's really affectionate. He's really happy to entertain himself. If you're busy, he'll find something to do around the house, but he also really loves to lay on the couch for a snuggle. Hi, yeah, okay. As you can see, he's decided that next to me is insufficient. But yeah. Hey, buddy, come on. What are you doing? But yeah, he's super sweet, super snuggly, really good dude. Trying to figure out where he's going in my lap now. We just had bath time, so he's just yeah, happy dude. He likes to play with the feather fishing pole if you'll play with him. He's not so great at catching it. He's a bit of a goofball and will find himself in strange positions. Oh, yep. We've got some biscuits. He loves to make biscuits on you. He'll settle in and just really go to town on the biscuits. And then he also really loves sitting at the window and watching the birds. But he really is just such a chilled out, happy go lucky kind of cat. Like if I'm away for the day, he's okay. If I'm around, he loves to hang out. but he'll just do what you want to do.
That is just so adorable. I'm struggling not to adopt him myself. Tell me a little more about, playtime because you said that he likes the feather fishing toys. He's not that great at it. How much time does Spino need you to dedicate during playtime?
He's happy with whatever you will give him. There have been times where we don't really play all day and he's totally okay. And then some days where I'll spend, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and he's happy with that. Or if you want, he will usually stop around 20 minutes. Like he doesn't need a ton of playtime. He's okay with not doing playtime. He's a pretty low energy cat. But he does appreciate the feather toy, and he loves his catnip pickle as well.
Okay, so that's good to know. Responds well to catnip toys and feather fishing toys. About 20 minutes of play. That's really good. He might be really well suited for a family or an individual who's working and maybe doesn't have a lot of time to dedicate. I remember you said that he is okay when you leave him alone for long periods of time. What is the most the longest that you've left him by himself?
Yeah, if I'm out for the day, probably around 8 hours, he's totally okay. He'll greet me at the door when I come back and ask for attention, but he's really okay. And then when I'm at home working, he'll just set himself up on the window and he loves an open window and he'll sniff and he'll look out there and he likes to watch the world go by, but he's really okay for a long period of time. I also don't let him in my room. At night. And so overnight, he'll just put himself to sleep or play if he wants to. He's not persistent about waking up in the morning. So when I get up, he's happy to hang out. He's not really persistent about mealtime as well. He's really good at self-regulating. So he was getting a little bit sick on wet food. So I only give him dry food now. And I'll give him like the full day's worth of dry food in the morning, and he will munch on it throughout the day and regulate himself throughout the day and the night. So he's really easy about that as well.
You mentioned dry food. Is there a specific
Mhm.
brand that works best for him? Oh, I love that boop.
I know he's so curious. Hello. He I use the Hill Science Diet sensitive skin and stomach food, and that works well for him.
Okay, that's really good to know. Thank
Mhm.
you for that information. Are there any stories or anecdotes that you could share about your time with Spino?
I have about 100 photos of him sleeping upside down with his feet stretched out in the air. He really like becomes a derp so fast. He's a funny dude.
What a sweetheart. Oh my God. How does he do with other cats and maybe dogs? Have you been able to see how he interacts with them?
Yeah, I haven't observed him with cats or dogs. He has such an easygoing temperament that I think he'd probably be okay, but I really haven't observed it.
Okay, thank you for that. We've walked through his food choices and his plate choices. I think if there's any other information that we haven't covered that you'd like to tell
Yeah.
us, please let us know.
Yeah, he does have, so he has what's marked as alopecia on his ears. I think it may have been a former burn. I'll see if we can. Hi, buddy. No, I'm trying to show your ears. Look this way. You can see it a little bit there, but um, they're healing well and it doesn't bother him at all. And so they have these funny little curl on them. That's worth noting, but that's the only health thing that he's had. He's otherwise, really healthy, happy dude.
Thank you for that. Is there any information you want to give before we wrap this up about his perfect forever home?
I mean, he's just such a sweet, happy, easy dude. He loves meeting new people. He loves hanging out. Someone who can, give him some snuggles and attention when he desires. But if, you're working in person, then he's good with that too. A little window perch where he can sniff the outdoors and he's happy as a clam.
Thank you so much for that, Laura and Spino. Just going to drop his bit.ly link before we end this presentation. It's cdck.cc/Spino, which is spelled Spino. Once again, that's cdck.cc/Spino, Spino. Thank you once again, Laura and Spino. And with that, we're going to move on to um, Julie, who is fostered by Eric. Julie is a 3-year, 1 month gray domestic short hair. Please correct me if this isn't correct. She is a high energy lap cat who is outgoing, good with kids, snuggly, litter box trained. Eric, do you think you could tell us a little more about Julie?
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess like the first of the cats on this presentation that is actually very energetic, loves to play. She's pretty good. Like you give her, space and toys, like she'll play on her own for, a long time. And then so you don't necessarily have to like have directed playtime with her, but she does love, she'll go after a feather toy, as you can see. Um, Oh, I think I've maybe kind of worn her out a little bit during the call, so she's not jumping around as much as she was earlier. Um, I think her favorite toy is probably like a spring. So she'll chase that around forever. And then sometimes she'll kind of come up and demand pets, like kind of, shove her head into your hand and purr and ask that you pet her. And then once she's kind of worn herself out, she'll come and kind of conk out in or around your lap. So she's, kind of has a pretty good range of cat behaviors that are really cute and she's fun to have around and has been doesn't really have any like health issues or anything like that. So she's just really like a happy-go-lucky little lady, and she's I think she's seems like she still has a little bit of a kitten energy. Like doesn't feel like she's quite done growing. So she'll probably end up being a little bit bigger than she is right now when all is said and done.
Okay, that's really good to know. You mentioned that she's very energetic, has kitten energy. Do you think you could walk us through, how much time you dedicate to playing with her, how many times a day, and what she really likes to or responds well to during playtime?
Yeah, so like I said, like she can play by herself too, so you don't necessarily have to have like a whole lot of dedicated playtime, but like she definitely will. I mean, as much as you want to play with her, like she will be willing to play with you, for like to any reasonable amount. Like, yeah, yeah, you could never. Like, she's hard to wear out. Like she eventually will get tired, but you can kind of go for a while with her. But she'll also just kind of, as long as she has like enough space to kind of run around, she'll kind of zoom up and down the stairs or, you know, pick up her spring toy and kind of run with it in her mouth and go somewhere and bat it around and that kind of thing. So she can do stuff by herself. So it's never really been an issue in that sense. But like, yeah, if she ever gets like, if we ever have to have her cooped up in a room, one room at one point for a while, she will eventually start to kind of get a little antsy. So you do have to kind of make sure she's got, able to stretch her legs.
That's really good to know. So, lots and lots of space for her to run around. And she's good at entertaining herself as well as playing with you. So that's really nice. You mentioned spring and feather toys. Are there any other toys that she responds well to?
Yeah, I mean, she'll respond to like catnip toys. But anything that's really anything on a string that you're kind of anything like that you're kind of pulling up in the air for her, she'll go after that. Those are kind of her main favorites, I think.
And because she has kitten energy and is very energetic, loves to play, do you know if she works well with other cats, whether she might need to be adopted with another cat?
Um, we have two other cats. Like one of them I think she gets along better with our older cat, but our older cat's not very playful. So it doesn't seem like she's done okay, just kind of more or less entertaining herself. Um, and I will say she did. We had our friends brought like they had their an 18-month-old they brought over, and she got along very well with him. So it was very like docile and gentle with their kids. So that was interesting to see too. So she could, I think, do well in a home that has young children. Um, so she kind of like right away just like wasn't afraid of him and kind of just rolled over and showed him her stomach. So I think there's a pretty wide range of like, I think she would do fine in a house with those other cats. She may be a little slow to warm up to them, and it may depend a little bit on sort of temperament of the other cats. Um, and I think she would do well by herself as an only cat, and I think she would also do well in a home with children.
That's really, really good to know. That she has a lot of positive points going for her. Would do really well in a family with kids. And needs, lots of space to run around and play, to keep her entertained. So I think that'd be great, if anyone has young kids and is looking for a fun companion to, help your kids get their energy out as well. It seems like Julie would do really well there. Um, how does she respond to like food? Is she food motivated? Is she ambivalent towards it?
Yeah, she's very motivated. She'll eat. At first first few days we had her home, she didn't really seem interested in wet food, but that has changed. So she'll eat, wet food or dry food now. It is a little tricky with, we did have an auto feeder for her, for to give her breakfast, but she has a tendency to kind of knock it over to try to get food out of it. So you do have to kind of keep food out of her reach, or she will get to it. So that is one thing to note. But loves treats. I think that would kind of probably be helpful with introducing her to other cats and with kind of helping to teach her, positive behaviors and positive reinforcement, because she does respond very strongly to food.
Are there specific brands or I know you said she loves treats. What kind of treats work for her?
Yeah, like she'll go for greenies, and she does like churros, although she's not as like fanatical about them as some other cats I've seen. Um, and we have her like we just have her on like Purina one dry food, and I think we have her on Hills wet food. But I don't think she really has any specific dietary needs, so I think you could probably put her on whatever type of food you really want to. So I think she would be pretty flexible in that respect.
Yeah, that's really good to know. It looks like we may have covered most of the things we'd want to know. Are there any stories or anecdotes that you would really like to share about
Um,
Julie?
yeah, like she is like a little clumsy. So I think when we first brought her home, she was kind of exploring the space, and she was she was having a hard time kind of making jumps and like figuring those out, and she fell a couple times like off of a bookshelf or something, just trying to kind of figure it out. So she is a little goofy in that respect, and that can be pretty fun to see when she's not quite figuring out what she wants to do right away. Um,
That's adorable. Um, is there anything that I haven't asked that you would like to share about Julie?
I think we've pretty much touched on it. Like she really is just she's a little sweetheart, and she has a great really audible purr. And she's a little chatty, but she's never kind of kept us up or anything with meowing at 3 in the morning. At least not, knock on wood yet at this point. So she's just all around just a really really sweet cat. So I think she would be a great addition to anyone's home.
Thank you so much for letting us know more about Julie today. Before we go, I'm just going to drop her bit.ly, which I know I forgot to do when we started. It is cdck.cc/Julie, which is Julie. Once again, that's cdck.cc/Julie, Julie. Thank you once again, Eric and Julie, for your time. With that, we're moving on to our last presentation of today, which is Jasper, who is fostered by Madison DeLuca. Jasper is a 3-year old buff domestic short hair. We don't really have a lot of information on him right now, so it would be great to learn more from you, Madison.
Hi, I'm having trouble turning my camera around. I don't know why.
Oh,
Sorry, one second. Let me figure this out.
no problem.
Well, here he is joining me to figure it out. Um,
And I don't see any questions in the chat right now, so that's looks like everyone's getting the information that they need.
Did you have any suggestions for doing this on the phone? No, oh, never mind. Figured it out. Okay.
Wonderful.
Here is Jasper. Yep, he's a 3-year-old white and orange short hair cat. He, throughout this presentation, had been sleeping on my legs. Oh, you see a little yawn from him. But then when I was about to start talking, he started kind of moving around. He is very sweet and friendly. He wanted pets from like the minute he got out of his carrier at my house. He makes, yeah, there he is, trying to rub up on my hand. He makes a lot of biscuits. He loves to lay down in boxes. He loves to play on his own with like a jingly plush toy. Um, or he likes to play fetch with like plush jingly toys with you. Or he likes to play with like you waving a feather fishing wand. Um, he has a very good balance of he really likes to like rest and nap and like especially like lay on my legs when I have a blanket on them, but he also loves to run and zoom around. He loves tummy rubs. He loves to be a little shadow around the house. He's always like right near whatever I'm doing, purring and like rubbing on my legs and furniture as I walk around. He can get pretty talkative, and he makes very like sweet little noises when he readjusts while sleeping. He's always like doing a little like meow as he like rolls over. He has been friendly to my friends who have come over after getting a little bit of time to adjust to a new person or thing in the space. It takes him a little bit, but once he gets comfortable and settled, then he's happy to um, hang out. Yeah, he's litter box trained. He likes to be brushed. I don't have any experience with him and kids or other pets. But I have a neighbor with a dog that barks a lot, and has never been like bothered by that. Let's see, and I think he can be smart and trainable. Like to encourage him to use the scratcher. I give him a treat after he uses it, and he's definitely like learned that is what is going on. Here he is with one of his boxes that he likes to be in. And he's never hissed or anything when I redirect him. So overall, really sweet and friendly guy.
That sounds lovely. You said that he loves to play on his own with jingly plush toys or, with you if you have a jingly toy or fishing feather rods. Do you think you could tell me a little more about playtime with Jasper?
Yeah. His little jingly plush toy is right there. Yeah, he will normally like initiate playtime by like batting around the plush toy. And then at the beginning of when I had him, he didn't really seem to want to play with me. He was always a little bit like, what are you doing when I would like try to join him in play? But once I started bringing out like the feather fishing wand, he kind of got it. And then um, I don't exactly know how it started, but I started throwing the fish for him, and he loves that now. And he brings it to me and drops it like right. He'll bat it around for a while on his own, and then when he wants me to get involved, he will bring the little fish to me and want me to start throwing it for him. And we'll do that for like 5, 10 minutes. And he really likes to go pick it up and then drop it again, like right by my hand. So he's better at playing fetch than some dogs that I even know.
Gotta love a cat that can play fetch.
Yep.
That's very sweet. How much playtime do you think he needs in a day?
I would say there are some days that we don't play, so it doesn't have to be an everyday thing, but he does enjoy it. So I tried to play with him every day. I would say maybe like depending on the day, probably like 10-ish minutes. Some days more like 5, some days more like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, that's really good to know. And I know you said that you don't really know how he does with cats and dogs, but it looks like he's not too bothered by at least dogs barking. I'm just trying to see what else we could talk about that would give us a better insight into him. Is he food motivated?
He is not, I don't know. He's like kind of like Goldilocks just right on a lot of things, and one of those is being food motivated. He's treat motivated, I guess. I'll say that. He likes churros and he likes greenies. Um, but in terms of like he doesn't like wake me up for his breakfast. He has an automatic feeder, so when the feeder goes off, he does run towards the food and he eats probably about half of it and then he grazes on the other half until mealtime. So he's not, I've had cats that are, gobbling it all up from the minute it comes out, and he's not like that.
And is it mostly dry food that he eats?
Yes, he enjoys wet food, but he mostly eats dry food right now with me. So he's done well with both, but right now, dry food mostly.
Okay, that's really good to know. He really just seems like such a sweet guy. Tell me a little more about, introducing him to other people. You said that he does well with if he's given enough time to adjust to others.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had a friend over yesterday, and when he was curious about the door opening, like the door to my apartment, but then he's gonna say hi. He when she came in, he ran and then hid in like his little hidey hole in the closet. And then she wasn't gonna be there for very long, so I kind of tempted him out with a treat. But beforehand, if somebody was going to hang out for a while, I would just let him do his own thing and come out when he was ready. And he eventually would, after like 10 minutes or something, and come and wants to sniff at the new person and wants to meet them and enjoys getting pets from them. So I think he maybe gets a little like initially startled by, he gets a little initially startled by something new that he's not used to in his environment, but just giving him space or like giving him a treat to try to motivate him to like engage with the new person or object, he really quickly realizes like, oh, this isn't so bad, and then is friendly and happy.
That's really nice to see. Um, do you think you have any stories about your time with him? Anything you think everyone should know?
Um, Overall, he's just really silly and sweet. He really is, he's kind of Goldilocks, I think. Just he loves to chill out and lay on me while I'm working, but then he also does have, that drive to play like once a day. He really would be good, I think, for someone who is happy to have a little companion following them everywhere. He loves to be, within a couple feet of me, whether he's sleeping or, playing, or he just always is coming back to where I am. He likes to even like lay outside the shower door, like while I take a shower, he just like wants to be around. And he's silly and goofy too. When we're playing, sometimes he'll, he's like 12, 13 pound cat, and I've seen him try to like hide behind my sneaker before to try to like outsmart me in play. So he just does a lot of like cute
That is
little
so
funny things.
That's adorable. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm just like seeing that image of this larger cat just trying to hide behind a sneaker. That's
Yeah.
so cute. Um, you already gave us insight into the kind of home that may be best. But does he do well with being left alone for a while, or does he need someone who might be present at all hours of the day?
I think he's okay being left alone. I work hybrid, and I kind of get the sense that he prefers it when I am home, but it's not like he doesn't get into any trouble when I'm not there. He doesn't like, you know, mess with anything in the house. He just seems like extra excited to see me when I arrive home. So he does sleep a lot of the day when I'm home. We mostly, if we're doing playtime, it's in the evening. So I imagine his days, frankly, aren't that different when I'm not there. Um, but he is just social. So I think he's fine being left alone, but prefers having a companion.
Okay, that's really good to know. And I can't remember if we covered this, but do you think he'd do well with kids given a slow introduction?
I just don't know. I think I see no indication that he wouldn't. I do think that he would, yeah, a slow introduction. He might be like hesitant at first for a while. But again, like he's never been anything but sweet. He, has never like showed his claws or hissed or anything at me. So, I don't think that he would ever be like mean to a kid. I think he maybe would just kind of like run away at worst with, like a kid's maybe unpredictable moving around. But he's gotten used to basically like everything and everyone that I've introduced him to. So I could see that working.
Okay, that's really good to know. Before we wrap this up, do you want to just give us any information that we haven't covered that you would like potential adopters to know?
I think we've covered everything. He's just really fun to have around. He yeah,
I
he's
love how
very
gentle
sweet.
he is with
Yeah.
with your hand.
Yeah, he's a very sweet guy. He just like brightens my day, and I'm sure he would do the same for his forever home.
Thank you so much for that information, Madison. And thank you, Jasper, for just being really chill and showing us your many qualities. Before we wrap this up, and this was our last presentation for the day, I'm going to just drop his bit.ly link, which is cdck.cc /Jasper, and Jasper is spelled Jasper. Once again, that is cdck.cc /Jasper, with Jasper spelled Jasper. I don't see any questions in the chat for Jasper or any of the other cats. So it looks like we've covered everything we needed to cover. Thank you once again to all of our lovely fosters and to everyone who was listening and watching our live stream today. Um, Once again, if you're interested in knowing more about these cats or, even want to check out some of our adoptable dogs, please go to citydogsrescuedc.org. This is also where you can go if you're interested in volunteering and looking at foster opportunities because really uh, our rescue would be nothing without our fosters. So we are always looking for more volunteers to foster our cats and dogs. So citydogsrescuedc.org is where you would go to find out more about that. This is also where you can go to donate to our rescue or sponsor an animal's care, as well as to adopt a dog or cat. Once again, thank you all for attending and for listening. And with that, we end our virtual cat adoption event for October. See you again next month. Thank you all.